If you want to see what a $110 foundation looks like, keep watching this video. I'm going to be doing a full face of Victoria Beckham Beauty featuring her new foundation, which is $110. Is it worth it? Let's find out together. Let's start with the Cell Rejuvenating Power Serum. This is a collaboration that she did with Augustinus Bader. This has Augustinus Bader patented TCF8 technology, which is designed to firm, it's designed to hydrate the skin, lift and smooth, reduce redness, and just give the skin an overall radiance. This comes in at $125 for this size. And I'm going to just start with a couple of drops of this. I use this sparingly because it is so pricey. And we're going to press this into the skin. This is not heavily fragranced, so I think that is really nice. If you're sensitive to fragrance, you will like this. A lot of luxury brands do add quite a bit of fragrance, and I don't always love that. So this doesn't have a scent, and I'm just pressing that into the skin. So as you can see, I haven't used much of it. I use this whenever I do a full face of Victoria because it is so pricey. I'm a little leery of just working through this because I think if you used this morning and night, this would probably last you about 30 to 40 days maximum, and that is a hefty investment. But to be fair, the only way that I will know if this really makes a difference in the skin and the health and look of the skin is if I do use it every day. Consistency with anything is so important. So I really don't want to say that this isn't worth it because clearly I have not gone through it. But give me a minute. I'm going to make a commitment to do that. I purchased it. I might as well use it and see what happens. This is her illuminator. This also has that patented ingredient, the TCF8 technology. This is beautiful. So if you don't even like to wear makeup, but you just want to give your skin illumination, this primer illuminator is a beautiful investment for your skin. Just going to put this on. You'll see that it does impart a very healthy glow to the skin. So this combination of these two products really does make your skin feel nourished and ready for makeup. Oh yeah, that's so pretty. And this would work under any foundation. The cost of this is $150. Oh my God. If I wonder why I don't have a hefty retirement, it's because I've spent my money on my face. I'm nuts. You guys don't do like me. But, you know, if you are a makeup lover, I would say this one is definitely worth the splurge. It's just a beautiful, beautiful formula. It's a splurge, okay? I admit. But I do like it, and I think it imparts just a beautiful glow. So moving on, we're going to go into the eyeshadows. And the eyeshadows are absolutely beautiful. They really do blend beautifully. This compact is called Victoria. It's her signature color. The snap, the weight of this compact, it feels luxe. The packaging is luxe. It's not, there's no plastic. It's made of metal. It's very weighted. And, you know, that's why we do it. These palettes are $75. Yes, they are $75. But I've loved them. The shadow formula is beautiful. So let's do just a soft fall eye using these warm brown colors. I think it'll be very pretty. I'm going to prep my eye with a little bit of loose powder. I'm using the Makeup by Mario Fair Pink. It's just a nice setting powder. and I'm just going to set my lids with this. I'm not using a cream primer today for my eyes. I'm just going to set it with a little loose powder. Just like that. And now I'm going to go in first with this light brown shade, which I like that she gives a bigger portion of the lightest shade, because that shade is the transition shade, and that is the shade that you tend to use the most of. So I do appreciate that that pan size is a little bit bigger. And let me show you on my hand first. This is a very, you can see it almost blends in with my skin tone. It is a very good base shade. So I am just going to lightly dust this all on my lid up into my crease. One thing I noticed about these shadows is they do blend out very beautifully. It doesn't take a lot of effort to get it nice and smooth. So for that, you know, maybe we can justify the price. I don't think the ingredients are that different from other makeup brands, but again, you're paying for the marketing, you're paying for the name, you're paying for a slice of posh, right? Posh spice. Victoria Beckham, you're paying for a little bit of that. There is going to be a documentary coming out with Victoria Beckham about her life, I'm assuming, on Netflix. I think it airs on Wednesday, so I'm going to be very curious. I think it's next Wednesday, and I'm really looking forward to watching that. I wasn't personally a huge the Spice Girls? Wasn't a huge fan of their music because I was already in my mid-20s, maybe even late 20s when they became a huge sensation. So it felt a little teenagery to me. So I didn't really love them, but I do appreciate the success and, you know, just the story. So let me know if you were a Spice Girl fan. I wasn't, but I do like Victoria Beckham and her makeup. So, okay, so the next color I'm going to dive into is this one. And I'm just going to apply that onto my lid. Just in through here. And then up into the crease. Right in through here. It's a very soft brown shade. It's very subtle. Let me put some on my hand so you can see what the color is on that. It's a rich, warm, almost with a reddish undertone brown. I think it'll look nice with my burgundy shirt. My burgundy sweater, I should say. And this I'm just blending right into the crease and then just dusting a little bit on the lid. I'm going to go back in and just do another layer. Just build that up a little bit. And you could even just stop right there. You have a nice base lid. We've created just a little dimension here in the crease where, you know, my lid tends to be slightly hooded. My eyes used to be so much more almond shaped, and now they're kind of, you know, coming down here. So I really like to do looks that just kind of give that slight lift back to my eye. And what's beautiful is that you can just do this with makeup. There's no need for alterations. Makeup allows us to shapeshift, and I'm here for it. It's all an illusion. So we want to create some depth right in through here, especially if you find that your lid is getting a little heavy there. Just creating a little bit of depth there goes a long way. So I'm going to go back into that first shade with the bigger fluffy brush, and we're going to blend. We're going to soften all of that and blend that out. like this so far. I think it's very soft and pretty. As I said, you can stop here, maybe just add a little black liner and some mascara, and you'd be good to go. Next, I'm going to dip into this darker brown shade, which has a slight, I think it has a little bit of like a cooler tone, a little bit of a purple almost. At least that's how it shows up on me. And with this shade, I mean, I could dust it over all the lid to make it smoky, but I'm not going to do that today. I'm just going to tap into the corner here and just give a little depth to this outside. We're not going for a super dark look on the lid, although I think for evening that would be very, very pretty. I'm just going to kind of come here on this corner edge and blend into my crease. Coming right here and blending into the crease. Now I will admit that these shadows, while they're very lovely, at $75, I feel the Makeup by Mario palette. I've used eyeshadows from NYX, from e.l.f., you know, from much less expensive brands that perform just as good, to be honest. But again, it's the packaging, it's the experience, it's the whole thing. So let me know if that, you know, helps you with your decisions. And what decisions do you make when purchasing makeup? I'm always curious, because for me, makeup, the purchase, everything is a whole experience. I love coming home. I keep the packaging for a couple of weeks. Like, I just like to hold it. I don't know. Maybe I'm weird, but for me, makeup is a whole experience, the purchasing and everything. So I'm curious to know if you kind of feel the same way, or maybe it's just a me thing. I don't think it is. I've talked to other women that feel that way. And again, this is definitely a splurgy makeup. So I'm going back in with that second shade just to soften and blend and kind of marry these two together. We just want it really subtle, nothing too heavy. Okay, I'm going to stop there and come back to the eyes in a little bit. I want to start working on the foundation. This is 68. So it's just a pen that comes up and you'll click and get the product out. Again, I like to use my hand to get that product on there. I don't like to go directly on the skin because I like to prime the brush and get this in there. So I'm going to take my concealer brush. We're going to work in that concealer. This concealer is very light and serum-like. It also has that active ingredient, the TCF8, whatever that is, technology. So I think that's what drives this price up on this. And it is very lovely. It's not one that I reach for on the regular, but it's not bad. It's nice. Would I spend $68 on this again? Probably not. There are other concealers that I think I do like more. But I will say, if you are a luxury gal and you like more of a sheer concealer, this one you will love. There's nothing wrong with this formula. As you can see, it did a very nice job of brightening under my eye. This color, by the way, if I can read, please bear with me, is L2. That is the color on this pen. So that will help you perhaps when if you decide to purchase this, you'll know kind of what color range. If you're lighter or darker than me, that'll help you. So we're gonna just push that in. You could see I don't like to rub, okay? I'm just tapping that in, getting the most payoff from that color. And I like to kind of come up with all my concealers just to kind of lift the eye there, kind of open up the eye. Okay. I'm just going to take whatever remaining I have, kind of come through the higher points of my face. And as you can see, I have my pigmentation here. I'm facing a window. I do have a light, but I thought it'd be nice just to do a makeup with some natural lighting so you really can see how my skin looks without studio lights. So you can see it, you know, it doesn't cover everything, but we can add. We can always come back and add some layers. Okay, so for the piece de resistance, this is the Victoria Beckham by Augustinus Bader, the Foundation Drops. So this also has that patented ingredient, which I think what drives that price up. And this is $110. The packaging is, it just feels luxe. You're going to shake it. I'm going to just do a few drops. The color match looks perfect. So that I'm impressed with, because when I purchase online, you just never know. And their color chart was spot on. So the color that I am is light medium. It's number 6. Okay, I'm going to take my BK Beauty brush. This is number 109. I love this for blush and even foundation. I'm going to tap into this, work it into the brush really, really good. And let's just see how it goes. I'm going to tap in. Okay. You guys, I'm impressed. I didn't color correct. I think it did a great job of concealing my pigmentation. I'm going to do half face. Let's do half of a face. We can see. So I think with this TCF8 technology, you know, the theory behind that is you're using it on your skin. It's in all the products. So your skin is getting some benefit from that. And again, for women who spare no expense to makeup, this is a beautiful brand. It's a perfect color match. I'm really shocked with that, really impressed. And yeah, I think for a serum foundation, this did a great job of covering pigment. You could see, and it's very dewy. So I will powder this down because I don't like to be dewy all over. But if you're very dry and you like more of that dewy makeup, you will love, love, love this. So maybe this, I will say, is worth the splurge. Maybe for Christmas, maybe as a birthday gift to yourself. Just having a little slice of luxury in these tough times sometimes feels good. Look at that. I'm impressed. I will say I was not thinking this was going to do anything for pigment, but it did. You're seeing it right here. I did not color correct, and it's doing a really nice job. I think that if you have large pores, acne, bumps, uneven skin texture, I just don't think serum foundations are the way to go, okay? It's just going to enhance that texture with all that illumination and dewiness. You need more of a semi-matte formula. But for those that have somewhat flawless skin, whatever that means, this is beautiful. I am glowing. I mean, this is like disco ball. This is impressive. I would say this foundation is definitely worth it. If you love a serum foundation, if you like a dewy look, if you have $110 to blow, this would be a way to spend it. Okay. Very, very impressed. Okay, I am going to take just a little of my Tweety from MAC, and I showed you this on my last video. I'm just going to take a little bit of this where I have pigment. I'm just going to tap in right there where I have pigmentation. And you could see like right there, I mean, this foundation did a nice job of covering it. This wouldn't be terribly obvious, but for good measure, I'm just going to tap in that shadow right on top. And then I'll just do a very, very, like not even a half a drop. And we're going to just tap over that with that same brush. So just get that on there. And right here, just going to do another light layer. And that will completely conceal my pigment. Very pretty. Okay. All right, Victoria, another hit. All right. I'm impressed. I love this. Yeah. It's good. It's good. This is her liquid blush. This is $46. This comes with a little dropper, and you just do a little drop on your hand. I'm going to just show you. It's very sheer. It just imparts kind of like a little light sunburn, or like you're flushed maybe after a good workout. That's the vibe that it gives. So I'm going to just take another drop, and I'm going to apply this to the skin. I'm going to use a brush like this. I'm just going to tap into it. And this works really nicely on fresh skin, because I've used this when I don't necessarily do a foundation and I just want kind of like a healthy glow. I am applying it over the foundation. Technically, I think this might look really pretty under it. Of course, the foundation then would cover, so I don't know. It's very liquidy. And I'm just tapping on the high points of my cheeks. I'm going to go over my nose, kind of coming up under my eye, just to give the skin a very like healthy flush. That's the goal of this, is a healthy, flushed look. Okay? Which I think is very, very pretty. I'm going to take a foundation brush and just tap that. So that is a really nice product. It's very similar to the Benefit Skin Tint or Blush Tint, or these are called blush stains, because it does stain the hand. So that's why I think this formula is best put on clean skin before a foundation, but as you can see, it works on top. I'm definitely going to need to powder. This is very dewy. I love the coverage though, I will say. I do like that. I'm going to pull out her blush. I only have one blush from her. The blush is $46. This is the color I have of the blush. It's a very pretty rosy pink. And I'll put the name up here because the writing is so small. Like I cannot see that. So I'm going to take this blush and get it on my hand like that. I don't like to do that because then you wipe away your coverage. And I'm going to use that same brush and just prime it. You can even do this. And let's apply this blush on top. I love that this blush is very sheer. It's buildable. It's not overly pigmented where you have to be very careful, but I'm going to put a little on my chin. I like to do that with blushes, and I'll bring a little onto the forehead since we're not really doing contour or bronzer. This is very pretty. It's giving fresh facial vibes. Now let me set this because this is too dewy for my personal taste. I'm going to set this with the One Size Bolshoi Silk Medium Powder. This is a beautiful setting powder. So I'm going to use this, the big fluffy brush. And I want to keep the dewiness on the cheeks, but some of this just needs a little toning down. Just a tad. Yeah. And you can see that blush shining through. Looks very much like skin, which I appreciate. Okay. All right, so let's finish the eyes. We left off just doing that darker brown on the lid, and I do want to tap in with this beautiful, this is a beautiful shimmer, and I'm going to take this and just tap this on my lid. Makes it more evening, but it's just a nice kind of gray metallic shade. Kind of changes color a little bit as you move on the mobile lid here. It's very pretty. Let's go back in with this brown shade here. Let's go into that. And we'll go back in and kind of blend it all. Blending that into the crease. Just going to come out a little here. I've used this one already. Okay, really, really beautiful. This is called Pearl. And again, I'm just going to take a little on my hand here. I'm going to take this dense brush and get some on the brush. And we're going to just apply a little there. Put a little on the tip of the nose. Or I can add a little shine back right there. It's okay. On top of the lip. But that's enough for me. That's dewy enough for my taste. You do what you like. You can put shimmer all over, but I like a little bit of that. The highlighter is 46. Okay. Now I'm going to use, I think the one thing I would say I would tell everyone to get is the Kajal liners. This is kind of what she is really known for in the makeup industry, are these Kajal liners. They're beautiful. They have playtime, so you can apply, smudge out. You can use these as shadows, but once they set, they are waterproof. And I have all of the shades. They're beautiful. Today, I'm going to be a little basic and use black. Or should I use this pretty teal green? Maybe add a little something different. let's do something a little different. I was gonna use black eyeliner, but you know what black eyeliner looks like. These are beautiful, as I said. When you apply them, they go on super creamy. The other end of this is a little smudger. You can smudge it out. But once it sets, it's not gonna go anywhere. All right, let me do the blue. Let me see if I can do it in the monitor here. No, it's too hard. I can't really see. That's why I need a mirror. I'm just gonna go a little into the lash line. And kind of come up here. Okay, and I used that navy blue, which I think is very pretty. I'm going to take a little more of this blush as I'm just looking at myself. I feel like I need just a tad more, right in here. It's a very fresh look. The blue is a nice little pop. If you have dark brown eyes like I do, I think the blue is a good choice. And the Kajal eyeliners are, I think, my top pick. Second would be the foundation that I just tried, and then the illuminator. I think those are beautiful selections from this brand. Let's do my lips. I'm gonna do a dark lip, which I rarely do, but I don't know, I'm feeling fall vibes. I'm gonna use the #2 lip liner. So the lip liner is very affordable at $32. Oh my God. I'm gonna be curious when I add all this up, what this look costs. These are all the lipstick shades I have from Victoria Beckham. I'm gonna be using this dark one. They are all absolutely gorgeous formula. I think if you want to splurge, the lipsticks are also a nice way to splurge. The lipsticks are $38. The lipsticks are $38. It's a nice little splurge. I'm going to be so curious in the comments what you guys actually think of these prices and this makeup. I want to know like what stood out to you. I can't wait. I can't wait to see. This is very different for me. But I don't know, I'm digging it. Yeah. I'm digging the witchy vibes of this look. I haven't done the mascara yet. Let me do that. And I still feel like this is very dewy, like too dewy for me. So I'm going to take more of my Mario setting powder on a denser brush, and I'm just going to tap in here. It's just a little too dewy. We want some dew, but not all the dew. Yeah, this is giving gothy vibes a little. That lip color is stunning. It is really pretty, and especially with this dark smoky eye, definitely witchy vibes, and I'm here for it. So let's get into the mascara. The mascara, in case you're curious, let's just keep going with prices, is $34. It's got a very skinny brush. And what I like about this brush tip is that it does grab all the lashes. And I'm not going to be wearing any false lashes today. I'm just going to go with my natural lashes. I think this mascara grabs every little hair. You can kind of feel it. Like it really grips and grabs every hair. So I think that's nice. And as I said, when I've worn this, I remember thinking how nicely it came off without a lot of pulling on the lashes, which again, lash health is important. You know, we don't want to be too rough with our lashes. I will say this doesn't make them super thick, but what I've noticed with this is it makes them longer and definitely wispy, which I appreciate because some mascaras, the more you apply, the clumpier it gets. This doesn't do that. Okay. Just blotted the lipstick. Okay, so this is the look. What do you guys think? Do you feel this was worth the price? Did anything stand out to you? Do you agree with the things that I find that I think I would recommend, like the Kajal liners? I think that foundation was really impressive without any color correction. We have to admit that for a serum foundation, it covered pretty seamlessly. Even though it's not a full coverage, it offered a nice coverage. So you could probably even apply it with your fingers for a more sheer look rather than a dense brush like I did. I'm loving this lip. I forgot that I had this, so I think it's a great fit with this sweater for sure. The blush, the highlighter, all very nice, but that wouldn't be what I would repurchase. I definitely love the Kajal liners. This navy is so pretty. The navy is gorgeous. I do love that with my brown eyes. They have a beautiful Bordeaux color. This one is Bordeaux, which would be beautiful on green eyes, brown eyes. This is blueberry. That would be beautiful. And this one is terracotta. That's one of her newer ones. These are all in the Kajals. So again, they smudge, but once they set, they're going to be there to stay. So you do have some play time, so you could see that. But once it sets, that's it. So these are definitely worth every penny. I love these. In fact, let me take, is this the Bordeaux? Yeah, I'm going to take a little Bordeaux. And I'm just going to apply it under my eye and smudge. Smudge that out. It's kind of a nice change from black or brown. So these are just so good. I normally don't line underneath my eyes, to be honest, but I don't know, something told me to do it. My makeup gods told me to do it. And I'm just smudging. All right, well, look, let me know what you guys think of Victoria Beckham and if you agree with my picks, because I think that foundation, again, I didn't want to love this, but this is really beautiful. But I definitely had to powder it down. It's a little too dewy for me, but I definitely would pull this, and this will now stay on my makeup counter because I definitely will grab this one. I think it's beautiful. I have this one on my makeup counter at all times because I love it. And I'm gonna pull out these lipsticks again. I forgot how much I love them. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. And remember, darlings, glamour never expires. Glamour does not expire. I'll see you next time.